in there. I'll bet he's going to edit that every week. Anyway, I'm the host today. My name is John Barilla, and this is the first time I've done hosting. I've been on many webinars the last few years, and I participate, and I don't speak much. I do speak once in a while, but I've never hosted, so I'm a little bit nervous today. I'm actually a performer. It's my occupation. I'm a performer. But it's a little bit different when you're on stage or you're doing something that you perform than when you come on to be with folks. And I want to welcome everybody for coming today. Thank you very much, because as Milo always says, there wouldn't be a webinar or a Milo show if we didn't have you folks here with us today. I wanted to say that. And that's about all I'm going to say to start off. This should be a very interesting and fun afternoon. We have one of the best presenters and on Passivian, let's say, Mr. Jeffrey Morlock, and he's going to give us some. Well, Jeffrey's been talking a lot lately about where we are right now and what's going on, but I'm sure he's going to tell us more about that. And I'd like to turn it over to Jeffrey. Why don't you come on and say something to us? Come on down, Jeffrey.
Hello. Thank you, everybody. I'm telling you what, this is so cool. When Milo gave me a call the other day, and we talked, and we do that from time to time. I love the man to death. I'm a little scared of him too. He's a big guy. But he said, "Yo, you can talk about whatever you want to." And I went, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing, buddy." He said he trusted me, and I think he knows where I live. So I probably better do right by him. But we have had so many things. First of all,
before you can, I want to let you know the audio is patchy. There's a sound you speak. Maybe you want to adjust something.
Let's try.
Pretty good on my end.
It sounds fine on our end here, Lynn. You sound a little patchy.
Yeah, you sound a little. Yeah, you sound a little strange.
Okay. Good to know it's me.
That's better now.
Just proceed.
Beautiful. Well, I wanted to, before I really got started with anything, I wanted to thank Milo and thank, obviously, Mr. Mufara. He's the overreaching reason why we're even here. And thank you, Lynn. I appreciate you stepping up, you and Mr. Barillo here today to take this, and all these folks here. I'll tell you what, I'm jazzed up. I got up about 4:30 this morning. I don't know why. My eyes popped open, and I'm like, yo, I'm ready to go. And that's kind of weird, but it's been a beautiful day. And I started reflecting on the past 2-3 weeks where we've gone from MVPs to the over market values, and then we started talking about the value, and we've really ridden that horse for a couple of weeks, the value of on passive, and then last night culminating in the superiority of on passive, which really gives you an overview. There's been a lot of videos done concerning all of the value and such with on passive, and I thought, let's just ride that for a little bit and take a little bit of a different pathway toward appreciating, Mr. Mufara and what we've got here, and why we should be really ecstatic where we are, right? So I thought to myself, well, he said I could talk about anything I wanted to, so I'm going to talk a little bit about appreciation for on passive and talk about the IT specifically of on passive, the information technology and that entire field, and how it plays into on passive, which is only one thing that we've got. So it's probably going to take me 10 or 12 minutes to kind of go through this whole thing. But the bottom line is IT with on passive, that's our bread and butter, right? I mean, that is what we are, as long as we're talking digitality and everything online. And that tells us, that IT for on passive, we're more than just a pretty face, right? I mean, we got some real nice insides too. So information technology involves the study and application of computers and any type of telecommunication. I mean, we're really big into that. You can see that in everything we do, for the storage and retrieval and the study and the transmission and manipulation of data, just all that sorts of information that we work with, right? And it involves a combination of things, hardware and software, primarily that people use, and we use it every day, and it's becoming more and more prevalent in society. I mean, look at around, man. We've got this stuff tied to us, and in some cases, it's literally put in us. So in 1958, there was actually an article that was done by the Harvard Business Review, and it said that IT had basically three parts to it: computational data processing, decision support, and then it had a whole part of it that was called business software, which I didn't realize that. I just thought that everything came into being and business was an afterthought, but I guess not. So this is to say that IT, as we know it, refers to anything that's related to computational technology, computer networking, hardware, software, internet helps, obviously, and all of these technologies are working together. Now, most companies lately, everybody knows it, any company of any size anyway, has got an IT department. Everybody's always, oh, talk to IT. We need IT support, tech support. Everybody's got IT on the brain, right? Or at least the larger companies do. And the IT people, the techs and the gurus, the engineers and developers, these people, the people that we know and love in OnPassive, are those ones that manage the computers, they manage networks and other technical areas of our business, right? And some of the jobs that they have are, programming, network administration, computer engineering, web development, tech support. I'm sure they get inundated a million and a half of these, right? So it's like they have got it. Some of them probably have band-aids on their fingers. I don't know. But anyway, since we live in what we call a world of information, right? Information technology is part of our lives. It's stuff we breathe in every day. And it's a very fluid, very dynamic field, much like OnPassive is. And that, believe it or not, is why we are so dynamic and why we are so fluid and why we are on cutting edge, is because that field, the IT field, is so prolific and is moving at such a fast rate. There's companies, that as they progress, they're going to continue to create IT departments, and they're going to be managing computer technologies that are related to business or whatever these do develop, right? They will be the ones to literally define what the information technology means. Or put another way, the tech departments, the IT people themselves will serve to further define what information technology is as we go forward, because I'm sure it's going to morph in the future much as it has in the past. But there's some facets of IT that I want people to be aware of so that we can understand, in a sense, what the guts and what the inner workings of OnPassive are really about, so that we can not only appreciate Mr. Mufara and all of our products and everything that we're doing, but you can get a sense of what is happening inside of OnPassive in the digital arena only. We're not talking about everything else, but we'll just learn how to appreciate what's going on in the digital portion of this, right? They've got what's called IT governance, and this is talking about or refers to the combination of policies and processes that it takes to run IT systems smoothly, right, and integratedly for the good of the company, for the need of the organization. There's a lot of that going on behind the scenes every day that Mr. Mufara never even says a word about. There's obviously the IT operation, right, the operations department. And what we see there are the daily work of IT department people. They provide the tech support, the security testing, all the maintenance on the networks, the device management, all of that stuff. And think about this. Think about how many things they've got to do in the Hyderabad office alone. And then stretch yourself outward and think about the other offices we've got, not to mention the data centers. I mean, this is absolutely labor intensive, and you got some brainiacs doing this. There's also hardware and infrastructure, right? This refers to the physicality, the physical components of what we have with IT as we use it. It's quite literally the IT hardware. It includes setting up and maintaining all of the equipment. And that is not just a really high-tech cutting-edge stuff. That's stuff like phone systems and routers, servers, computers, laptops, even mobile devices, all those sorts of things. If it can get a signal or if it runs on electricity, chances are they're working with it, right? Now, also under the IT heading, in a way, we have what we call business IT or business information technology. And that specific leg of IT, we are all about it because we are a massive world-class business. We're about to be the biggest digital company, IT company in the world once we go public. We may be now, but it's getting bigger and better. But it helps us, business IT helps us and every business sector rather, by automating the processes, right? Individual processes as well as systems together that make our systems up. So it regulates and automates all of that to work smoothly. And there's a lot of that going on behind the systems too, or behind the scenes rather, whether it's in the data systems or whether it's, in any of the offices. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, if you think poor Marty, if you look at what Marty does alone, just one guy, Marty, with Zoom, I mean, that's enough for a full-time job right there. But if you start thinking about all the employees and everything that we do, then you'll get a better sense of exactly how much work is going on, right? Behind the systems that enable us as founders to see from the outside looking in a nice round ball that looks very, very nice. It looks like on passive, where on the inside, there are a bunch of gears working like nobody's business to make sure that we're meeting objectives, that we're going to be generating the revenue, and we're going to be reducing inefficiencies and things like that, and coming up with new products and all of that. So the value of business information technology is really, really on the rise and has been for quite a while, and it's going to get even more exponential, especially when you start looking at like commercial transactions like we're going to be involved in, right, to meet customer demand. And heaven forbid we should not meet regulatory requirements, right? I mean, but as we move forward, this ball is just going to get bigger, it's going to get denser, and it's going to start rolling faster, and life is going to get good for us. So the purpose, I guess, to say all the underlying purpose behind business IT is to be able to make it possible to fulfill the needs of the industries and the growing expectations of the customers that we've got. That's what OnPassive is aiming for. When we talk about affordability and we talk about lifting humanity and we talk about things like that, we are literally saying, hey, we've got expectations of customers that are going to be coming in here, and our whole goal is to get them in, get them what they need to meet their expectations, to exceed their expectations anyway. And that's when we come in with the over market value, but that's not here. That's not today. So anyway, to be successful in any business field, you've got to have a couple of very intangible things. And this certainly applies to OnPassive as a digital company. You've got to have, number one, relevant knowledge, and you've got to have information, right? I mean, business IT, the information technology of business, combines the things of management skills and communication technology with competencies, right? The skill sets of all the people that work with us, the competencies of that information. And this creates for us in the background all of these communication systems that are sound, right? They give us minimized risk, they strengthen the systems that we have together, and they support all of the business strategies. And everything like this is going on behind the scenes. We rarely ever talk about or hear about Mr. Mufara and the challenges he faces within the management structure of what is happening to make sure the business structure is sound. So I guess the question is, why is IT important? Because, I mean, that's our bread and butter. That's what we do, right? It helps to build, and it's going to help to grow the commerce. And we're into commerce. Look at everything we've got, all the products and tools, right? And the business sector, and to generate a maximum possible output, which is what he's doing with getting as many people in as we possibly can, and making the best products that are on the face of the planet, and making them all affordable, is all to generate business, and it's all done through the advancement of IT. We are an IT company. We are massive. We are very, very good at it. And the IT provides every bit of the electronic security and the storage and the efficient communication and everything for our system. It is what we do, right? To do the work, puppy's over there playing with a pipe. To do the work, the IT, the information technology departments and people in the whole field or sector of it's got to have applications, because through these applications, the IT, the computers, they connect to different organizations in the world. I mean, think data centers, they collect information, right? They do the programming and the coding and the data and the conversions and communications, and material and storage. It's just on and on and on and on and on and on. Their work does not stop, and it's 24/7, as you know. So they've actually got what they call virtual vaults. And this was kind of a new one for me when I was reading the other day, because that's kind of a storage system that sounds really kind of woo-woo, like it's out on the cloud. And I guess that's literally what it is. But that's what we use in the data center, so we can put in and retrieve, files, not only for us, but for others. But if we think about how IT and specifically how OnPassive is affecting a lot of the sectors out there. I mean, think about the quality of education. Think about the academic method of teaching, how it has been in the past, where you go to a room and you take notes. And well, look at what it's doing now. Think of Academy right now, and think about how IT has been improving the availability of information and contributing to improvement of school systems and student activities and teaching practices. I mean, wow, the miracle of Academy. When you think that that is a global product, a global tool or service that can be used by hundreds and hundreds of thousands at the same time, and connecting all these people in a virtual sense, man alive. I mean, that modern technology is just growing, and it's growing really, really fast. With Academy, I mean, students, they're not bound to traditional methods of learning, right? It helps the teachers to be up to date, helps the students to be all up to date with the latest technologies, everything. It can be used in everything. IT is all over the place. I mean, doctors use the information technology for patient records and history. I mean, they send and receive information, as do a lot of other people do. You can see it in agriculture. It's, productivity is satellites beam information, where you can actually predict things like monsoon or smog. I mean, who knew the applicability and the applications we can use by using the IT that OnPassive has, along with the AI, because that's part of it, through the automation, which is absolutely, man, some of this stuff is mind-boggling. So new jobs, man, the IT market, the IT sector is going gangbusters with all sorts of new jobs. And we've got, I mean, Mr. Mufara has talked about it. He has already started getting engineers and researchers. He talked about having researchers on all four corners of the globe. We're looking for these ideas that will foster, as I think Marty said the other day, these brainiacs that eat, sleep, and drink IT, and they probably dream in code, but they're using these ideas to flush out the next big thing that they're going to be coming out with, because he's already promised us, hey, we've got 9 products coming out at the end of August. We got another 3 after that. And every month after that, we're going to be coming out with products, and we're pulling all these ideas in and running them through our research labs. I mean, he's got guys in the biotech sector. Wow, I'm like, dang, man. I mean, these are engineers, right? These are what he calls mechanicals. So when you hear him say mechanicals, we're talking mechanical engineers in the biofield sector that is coming out with all sorts of stuff. It's like crazy. Data scientists, network administrators, stuff like that. Software engineers and testers and architects and all sorts of stuff. You can see it in finance. I mean, look at what we're doing with the finances. I mean, everybody's banking online, doing all that. Security, we know about security, communication, the whole 9 yards. It is absolutely phenomenal. Well, I think I about wore it out. But anyway, when we look at OnPassive, we should be seeing a whole world of opportunity, right? That is supported by a whole world of technology. And today, I mean, just in the last 10 minutes, we talked only about a digital or an IT portion of it. We haven't even talked about the mechanics of the data centers or the innovation labs or the physical products or any of the facilities putting those things out. We haven't talked about the marketing aspect of anything. This is this is this is what OnPassive is. So if you're not excited about OnPassive, then take another look at it. Look at what we're doing and how we're doing it and how that's literally expanding what we are doing, and it's expanding us as a company, and it's putting us at a global level so quickly that I mean, this whole mindset that he had when he first started as a marketing platform. Now look at what we've become. It's literally a one-stop shop, and you guys are founders. You're elites. You are a holder of a premier position in a company that, like he said, 200 years from now, they're still going to be using products that they put out and going to be thankful for them. So I'll turn it back over to you, John or Lynn, and just I hope you're excited. I hope that you really get an understanding of how big this is and what a big, good part of it you guys are. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jeffrey, very much. We're gonna have a little Q&A now. This isn't a general Q&A though. Take into consideration what Jeffrey is talking about and what he's just been saying to us. And along those lines, let's, if you want to ask a question or you have something you want to say to contribute about what Jeffrey was talking about, or if you have a question for Jeffrey, we're going to do that right now. So Lynn, I guess we would say they're going to raise their hands if somebody wants to. This is not general Q&A now. We want to try to stick to the subject that Jeffrey's kind of talking about. And if you have a question for Jeffrey, that would be good too. So let's try and do that. So I see there's 2 hands up. I guess I have to, Lynn, are you going to recognize or do I need to recognize who has their hands up?
You can go ahead and recognize, and I'll just help you with the unmuting part so that you can focus.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Since I've never done it, do I just go through and look for their picture to have their hand up, or do I go into the participants to find that?
I look at the participants list. It's easier, and then you just hover over their name, and it's going to say ask to unmute. Just click on the ask to unmute button.
Oh boy.
For Engineer Mike, you would hover over his name.
Well, I have to go through the list here. I'm on my phone, remember. It's a little different than a
yeah. On the phone, I think it's the same though.
Yeah, I don't see any hands up as I'm looking at participants.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't I do that part then? I'm on my computer, so I see Engineer Mike.
I do see Engineer Mike. I see Engineer Mike. Now, what would I do? Bring on to have Engineer Mike come on. What do I do? Just hover over his. Let's see here. Okay, lower hand. Wait a minute.
Ask to unmute.
I don't know how to bring him on. You may have to bring him on.
Okay, it's going to be under the more. Do you see a more?
I can see Engineer Mike's name. I see his hand raised, and that's really all the choices it's giving me.
Oh, okay, I'll have him.
Lynn sent it already to me, so I unmute already.
Okay, so he's unmuted. Go for it.
Okay, I found it. Okay, and I'm finding it now. I just need to. I should have had a rehearsal, I think. But anyway, okay, go. Let's bring him on in.
There's always a first time, John. Don't be worried. Good job. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, all the leaders, Lynn and John, for the show you're putting up today. It makes a lot of sense to us. And Jeffrey, I don't want to say how intrigued I am whenever you cut up here and you say those things. And again, I want to thank you, Jeffrey. I do product presentations now, and my slide was done by Jeffrey Murlock. That was the base of it. And I'm developing it now. Thank you very much, big bro. You always spark me when you speak OnPassive. I mean, like we can speak OnPassive from here to tomorrow. Nobody will get tired. So just to bring about some very technical things that he talks about, the vault, that is the vault that gets you connected from your data center to your base or to wherever you're working. Like for instance, like what we're having is very huge, right? Just thinking of memorizing or try to break down what we have in there is a big deal. OnPassive is a big deal. So this vault, like the vault, how they act is, I sit here, I work from my home, okay? So how do I get connected to my system? There is another one. I have servers. Most of our servers are in Los Angeles, and some of them are in Australia. So I have something which is a connectivity that I use to connect through the vault, but the central vault is where you have to have a connection from where you are to the central vault. Then the central vault, which is in the data center, we connect you now to wherever you are going to work. Now, if I sit here, I have to do something is called SSH. When you are employed in a company, they will create that centralized login session for you. They call it secure shell, SSH. So you will be able to log in from where you are to those servers, wherever they are. So it also helps. We have tools like Putty, we have tools like Mobile XTEM, and we will have another tool called WinSCP. So we use all these tools to be able to log in into these data centers. There's another one we call the batch. Okay. So now, if you remember, there was a day Mr. Ash was telling us how it is difficult for our systems to be hacked, that the employees, they have to log in into so many systems before they even start working. So that's all of this is being done for security. Like our big brother the security that we have in OnPassive is unbelievable. He says, if a worker takes his laptop home to go and work, okay, like during the time of pandemic, they will have to log into another vault. That vault in another location. That vault will lead them to another vault, which will finally lead them now to our system, OnPassive systems. So which means they get like 3 or 4 signups or logins before they can even get to start working in our services or our systems. The systems are the computers, whatever device that you're having, and our servers. That is enormous security. So as he was saying that, I'm just thinking in my head like, wow. So which means even like if a system is that secure, okay, so are we supposed to be worried about our data? Is it a yes or a no? We don't have to worry about our data because they are safe, right? Security, value, as all of our leaders are saying, value, security. That is all what OnPassive is, very gigantic and huge. Thank you, everybody.
Very nice. Thank you, Mike. Do we have any other hands? I'm looking in the participants. I don't seem to see any other hands. Anybody raising your hand? Come on, folks. Let's got any questions on your mind? You got anything for Jeffrey? Or in general, anybody want to come on and say what you're thinking about? Or maybe you have, oh, there goes a hand. Let me see who it is. Hold on. A couple of hands went up. Let's see if I can find them. Okay, let's see. We got, I don't know who went up first. I have Ty Young. I got T. Wendell.
Ty was first.
Ty was first. Okay, well, let's have Ty come on down and say what you got to say, Ty. Welcome.
Hello, how you doing, everybody? I wanted to ask Jeffrey when the products come out, because I've forgotten. It's been a while since I've heard it, and yeah. I wanted to ask you if you remember how the training on products are going to go, as far as like are you guys as leaders going to do the videos to show us how to use the products? Or is there going to be videos in the back office from the corporate to show us, or what? You know what I mean? So that's what my question is.
Yeah, good. That's a good question. Good to see you here, Ty. I appreciate you. The videos I do not believe are going to be done by the founders. These are going to be very professionally done videos that will be on the sites. And once you log on to your site, onto your domain or onto your websites, there's going to be icons when you if you it's what we call a waffle. When you click on the waffle and you go into whatever product you want to go into, there will be tutorials within the OnPassive ecosystem for each and everything that you should need or ever want. So those will be built into the system, and they'll be professionally done by Ash and the Techs. That's my understanding of how it's going to work.
Okay, that is great. That was actually a very good question, especially since we found out that it's probably not going to be just a lot of our smart leaders and such making videos. I'm sure there'll be a few of those folks that'll be giving us some kind of tutorials, but good to hear that there's going to be professionally done videos or tutorials for us. I didn't quite realize that was going to be the case. So that was nice to hear. And,
John,
and now let's, yes.
If I can add just something to that I think is so phenomenal, that along with those icons or tutorials that you can click on, you've also got AI looking at what you're doing, and that AI understands intent, and it understands the conversation or the intent of the conversations. So when you start mentioning products and it's going to know it. It might even pop up and say, hey, you mean this product here? Is this what you want? Or if you have specific questions, then you're going to have not only the icons for tutorials, but you're going to have live chats available to you. You're going to have the AI chats available to you, and a lot of other peripheral tutoring, other ways to find out how the answers to whatever you're looking for. So you're going to have a lot that you're going to be able to draw from.
Okay, how about that one? Peripheral tutelage, something like that. I think that's what you were going for. I'm not sure though, anyway. So now let's go on to the next person. And I think that's Key. So Key, come on down and talk to us. What do you got on your mind?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
hey everybody,
I can.
Good to see everyone here. I know some of you know who I am. My name's Key Wendell. I'm from Eastern North Carolina. Some of you probably don't know who I am. But I am very fortunate, everybody. I have the pleasure of being within an earshot in a short car drive to be able to sit down and spend time with Jeffrey. And we've become pretty good friends, I think. But I've had some phenomenal conversations with Jeffrey. Some of them go, honestly, I'm just going to be honest with you, right over my head. I call Jeffrey the professor of OnPassive. And if you've ever sat in a lecture hall, I'm a graduate of East Carolina University, which is just down the road from where Jeffrey lives. And you'll sit in a lecture hall, and Jeffrey can get into his conversation explanation of things really deep, and it can kind of bifurcate, if you will. And I love that about Jeffrey, that he understands not only OnPassive, but Jeffrey understands world events and trends and futuristic trends and things that he ties to OnPassive, because he sees and understands that OnPassive is a very visionary company, and that we will be in visionary technology. And some of this guys goes, it goes deep. And I can see OnPassive being in many different areas, not only IT, but that's a whole nother webinar, I think. But I just want to recognize Jeffrey and just thank you, Jeffrey, for all that you do for many of us. Even if I'm having a day, which, guys, I have many of these kind of days, I can call Jeffrey and we talk, and he kind of brings me back to center. And he's a great founder. I think one of the one of the 4 founders of On Passive. He wrote the ebook, and I think how blessed all of us are. And if you ever do have an opportunity to meet Jeffrey and sit down and have a conversation with him, you're gonna leave that conversation a better person. So thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate your friendship, and I'll be seeing you soon. Jeffrey and I got a project we're working on, and I've asked him for his help. And if you know Jeffrey, if you ask Jeffrey for help, he helps. So thanks, everybody. It's good to see you. Sorry I've been a little absent, but that's life, and I'm here. It's good to see you guys, John, Engineer Mike, Tony, Ty. Good to see you. That's it.
Great. Thank you. Good to see you too. You know, I'd like to say about Jeffrey. Now, I joined On Passive February 28th, 2019, I guess, pretty early, more than 3.5 years ago. And when I started to pay attention and look at people in On Passive and go to webinars and listen to people on YouTube or whatever, Jeffrey's one of the first people that I connected to, you know, just by watching. And I liked his style. I liked what he was saying. I liked his demeanor. And so that stuck with me. And he's also one of the first people that, you know, I'm kind of like Mr. Chat and all that or whatever. And a long time ago, I used to be in the YouTubes before we had the live chats or the streaming or anything, but I would be in one of Jeffrey's YouTubes and others also, and I'd see trolls or people making bad remarks, let's say. And I started to kind of, you know, at first I would go back and I'd go back and forth with them. And what I liked though was Jeffrey, he would come on in the comments and he would approach the person, but he always had a much more open, easy demeanor with even people making some of the most terrible remarks. And I don't quite have that. I'm a little more direct and blunt, straightforward with folks. I don't think I'm rude or mean, but especially if someone's a troll and they're trashing On Passive, it's amazing how polite Jeffrey can be with people. At any rate, I just wanted to say that he's a great leader in our company, and he's one of the people that I've been connected and hooked into from the very beginning. Okay, now I got another person here in a second. I'm a little slow, folks. I'm sorry. They're in the attendee list with their hand up. I hope he still has his hand up. Let me see here. Yes.
So the ones in the attendees list are people that want to come to the panel. So just ignore those hands. Just look at the panelists' hands.
Oh, just look at the panelists for now. Okay. All right. And I see some hands in there, like Susan Hodges in the attendees, who would be good to come to the panel because she's somebody that I hope she's asking to come to the panel. I don't know, but anyway. So let me look at the panel, folks. And I didn't see anybody in the panel with their hands raised, but I'll take another quick look.
There's Dr. Benny.
Oh yeah.
Benny and Tim.
We have both Dr. Benny and we have Tim Dillon. Now, which one do you think was first? Lynn, do you know?
Dr. Benny.
Dr. Benny. Okay, well, that sounds good to me. Dr. Benny, come on down and say something to us, please. What do you have on your mind today?
Thank you. Thank you, Brother John, for giving me this opportunity. Brother Jeffrey, I just want to thank you for everything you've done, especially your ebook. I believe you wrote it years ago when I joined On Passive. And so you updated it this time based upon our newest products. Now, first of all, I want to thank you for this presentation. And I want to welcome each and everyone. Now, based upon this presentation, so with all what you are telling us today, the magnitude of On Passive, can you tell us a little more what the innovative lab will do to us?
Sure. Well, not really. I mean, I don't know what it's going to do to you, but I know what it's going to do for you.
I mean, sorry, how innovative lab will be used for?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're giving me goosebumps, Dr. Benny. I'm loving it. That's my spirit identifying with what you're talking about here. You know, the innovation lab, you want me to just go ahead and split this out, right?
Spill it out,
Okay.
please.
Innovation labs, man, I tell you, if you're not excited about innovation labs, it's because you don't understand what they are and what they do and what their job is, right? Kind of like, and John, I appreciate so much what you said a little bit ago about these. I never call them trolls. That was something I learned from you, but it certainly fits, you know. But the thing with trolls, no matter whose site they're on, they're speaking. I don't mean to sound bad, but they're speaking out of ignorance. They do not understand what we've got a hold of, and they do not know what you and I know. They're not getting a bird's eye view like we are. They're coming from the outside, looking from the outside, and they don't have the information. So that's why you want to approach them in a way that you can kind of help them to understand where they need to be. Now, getting back to you, Dr. Benny, thank you for that question, because you know what? Innovation labs, understanding innovation labs is an excellent, excellent way to start creating a little bit more gratitude, appreciation, and that energy going out. Innovation labs are going to be key to our continued success and our dominance in the entire industry, whatever industry that is. When you speak about digital innovation labs, you're talking cutting edge AI technologies along with other technologies, integrative technologies, automated technologies that's going to drive the products, the tools, and the services developed by OnPassive for OnPassive into the future. When you talk about the mechanicals, when he talks about when Mr. Mufar says, "Oh, we have innovation lab with mechanicals," he's referring to mechanical engineers. Now, that is a very, very technical field and a very, very fast expanding field. And right now, we have mechanical engineers in certain sectors that is developing that technology for future products. The one I'm excited about is the bio technology, the bio industries field, simply because I know in my knower, as a preacher might say, that in the next coming years, we're going to have technology, say the next 50 years, we're going to have technology that's going to far surpass the entire history of technology that we've had. We're going to have stuff coming out that is going to be so far-fetched that it's going to blow your mind. Okay? When I talk about computers and technology and things like that with the biotech industry, and I don't think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, in the next 30 years, you're going to have computers out that are going to have chips in it, and those chips will have bio portions on them. They will have cells. And I know that sounds weird, and they're not even going to look like the computers that we've got today. So when I start talking about innovation labs, these are the technologies, the emerging technologies, plasmatic and energy technologies that we're going to be working on. You've heard Mr. Mufara talk about some of the energy systems that they're working on, technologies, cutting edge that nobody even has yet. These are the things that we're talking about, and these are what's going to come out of these technology labs, these innovation labs. When you start talking about these mechanicals, these bioengineers that go in, and you're going to end up with medical devices, and you're going to end up with technology with brand new devices that, instead of being aimed at giving you a pill or something like that, this technology is going to be going in and working directly with your energy and with your body. This energy that we have, this body that we have, has what we call an aura, or a field, a biofield. It is a subtle energy. These technologies coming out in the next several years, 10 years, a couple dozen years, maybe, whatever it takes, you're going to be able to see and interact with these biofields. It's already starting to happen. The technology is out there. When you start talking about this kind of technology, You're talking about all sorts of neat things, nanotechs, magnetic technology with designer magnetics for renewable, green, sustainable, fuel-less energies, right? Man alive, that's what's coming out of these innovation labs. So as many innovation labs as we have, either digital, which is going to give us all the cutting edge software and everything we need to advance online and internet. You got your mechanicals, which are actually mechanical engineers and physical products coming out in the integration of software and new tech into physical products. So we're going to be the leader, world leader in anything that we put out. And by the mindset that Mr. Mufareh's got, because he doesn't take no for an answer, and he refuses to be limited by the lack of an idea or by the lack of information, we will forever be perpetuating better, 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 better as we move. And as long as he's CEO anyway, we're always going to have the funding required, because that was number one, right? When he said, hey, when OnPass is not greedy when it comes to profit, but rule number one is we got to pay our bills and we got to be sustainable. So he's going to take money to make sure the lights stay on and the people get paid. And he's taking a portion for R&D, for research and development. And that's going to develop to make sure that all of our development, our sustainability, our future, and the future of our families are all going to be taken care of through these innovative labs that we're going to have. And there's going to be quite a few of them. So I'm excited about all of them. I'm excited about the tech. He's got stuff that we haven't even heard of, and I know it's out there. I'm talking to other companies with it. Oh, man, if you're not excited, learn about the technology out there, because Mr. Mufareh is on top of it, on top of it.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Are you back?
Muted. Oh, no, he's finished, right? Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Jeffrey. I was looking at my other screen that's on the computer, and it's behind because I'm on my phone. I was looking for people. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm learning as I go. So thank you. Yes, Jeffrey, thank you very much. And next, Tony Monk, he would go to ladies first. He's such a polite guy himself. He's a gentleman. I consider myself a gentleman, but I'm going to try to stick to the order that I've seen here, and I'm not even sure what I'm doing. But I'm going to go now next to Tim Dillon, because he had his hand up as one of the first people. And I'd like Tim Dillon. Are you still there, Tim? Can you come on down and say something to us? Are you there, Tim?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, hi.
I had a little trouble getting unmuted, but oh my God.
You're not having half the trouble that I'm having, so you're doing good.
John, you're doing a great job. And I commend you for what you do. You are Dr. Chat. Anyway, I think I think Professor brought this up, but I think we have to be a little guarded in our excitement about what is coming. In some ways, I feel Ash has tried to say that, but we need to back off the excitement level. It's gonna come. It's gonna happen. But we have to take it in the steps that he gives us. And if we do that, and we have the patience, the trust, the loyalty, and all those things, it will come. And oh my God, sometimes there's so much excitement. You have to wonder, are we losing sight of what is real and what the journey is all about? It's great to be excited. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. But I also have to realize, coming from a background that I came from, I know that excitement could bring bad things into what is good. So we have to be careful. We have to be conscious. We have to be engaged. We have to listen and not jump over the fence too quick. You know,
Are you still there? Where'd he go? Tim, what happened? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah. Hey, John, while we're waiting for Tim, can I comment on that?
Yes, you can. Go right ahead. I was going to say something too, but go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Great. I think I understand where he's coming from, but I'm telling you what, ain't nobody going to stop me from being excited. Now, the excitement that I have here with the founders, that's not what I show my family because they think I was as crazy as a loon. Some of them still do. Some of them right now even think that I've lost my rocker because they're looking at I'm passive with a sense that I don't have. So, and I understand that, but the excitement that we have is knowing these things are on the rise and these are the reasons that we are going to be able to do the things that Ash wants to do and why we are going to be so successful as founders. It's got nothing to do with pie in the sky and trying to convince anybody to do anything with us. It's just the knowing that we're going to be successful. It's the appreciation and the gratitude that helps us to all understand that where we're going is happening. It's like Tim said, we're going to get there. It's going to happen. I think what he's referring to, or my take on what he's saying is that, yeah, it's probably not a real good idea to be overly enthusiastic without us having launched or without anybody being able to see what we see. And so we come off as being a little bit crazy, but I'm excited for 100 different reasons and every one of them have something to do with where we're going. So just put that out there.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And I was going to say, you know, I'm the administrator in a couple of WhatsApp groups, and there's, you know, a few hundred people in each one of those. And in other places, I see people, and I know what Tim is saying. I agree with you, Jeffrey, for sure. I think what happens is a few folks, the excitement goes to a level where they get a little bit, I don't want to say illogical or irrational, but it's almost overly excited where you just become too spastic in your thoughts or something. I mean, we're incredibly excited. I'm very excited. I'm waiting with great anticipation. But I really do think we can be happy as can be, but we have not gone beyond the point that we are right now. And we should just be happy and enjoy these moments and days that go by here because it is that close. And we're coming to a time where we'll have a day somewhere here where we're on one of these webinars or we're somewhere and we can all just be as, you know, overly excited as we want to be. But there are folks out there, like you said, that I have some close friends, and I don't know about my family so much, but they think I'm just lost. And I'm not that. I mean, I know people think I have a good energy here. I saw a couple of remarks in the chat, but basically, you know, I'm not exactly a raw guy in life or whatever, but I have some friends that are looking at me now that they just think I lost it. They think I'm over the moon. They think that I've joined some bizarre cult or something because they don't have a clue and they don't understand. So I do think sometimes I have to take a deep breath. And when I start telling people where we're at or what on passive is for me or whatever, I'm actually careful in what I say now because people that aren't with us, they don't understand at all. But I think that's the only thing about excitement. We should be very excited. Great things are happening. Okay.
Hey,
now,
hey John. let
Yes,
let
yes.
me let me share something with you that I used in my last video. I'm not even sure where I found this, but I really liked it. So I'd like to just kind of put this out there. It's a quote by a guy named he's an American author named Werner Erhard.
Yes.
He's an academic from way back that's really smart. But his quote is this, and I used it in the video because I thought, wow, this is really explaining, and it kind of goes back to remember when you were talking about how I deal with the YouTubers. It kind of makes me. This is kind of my philosophy when I think about things. But anyway, so this is a quote, and the question is this: can we afford to be so arrogant as to pretend we know something we don't know, the knowing of which could transform our lives? And that's how I look at a lot of folks that look at OnPassive from the outside looking in. They don't really know, and they're basing what they think they know on anything on the past. And you just really can't do that. And they don't have the understanding that OnPassive can transform their lives too. So yeah, I really want them to have the opportunity. But that to me was a very good quote, and I've used it. So
Yeah.
thank you.
That was good. Hey, let's unless somebody wants to contribute to that, we could go on now. And the next person I saw was David Rosowski. I hope I didn't murder your last name, David. David Rosowski, come on down. Are you still there? Come on down and talk to us.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Hey.
I'm just digging everything that's going on. I mean, Jeffrey just reminded me of a quote from Abraham Lincoln that kind of reminds me of every founder, about their, sense, strength, and perseverance about being an OnPassive. Because, like you said, nobody in my family talks to me at all anymore. They all think I'm cracked. They just, okay, he's been drinking the Kool-Aid. See ya. So, but Abraham Lincoln said, be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. And that's what we're all doing. And I'm just really impressed that I'm not the only crazy man that saw the sense that, and the dream of Ash Mufara, to save humanity. Because I really see us turning into our own planet's breakaway society with the way everything's growing like this. But my question is, for those of us like me, great face for radio, perfect voice for pantomime. And I was wondering, will there be, or could there be some sort of program that would go like text to speech? Like, because if I wanted to do videos, I'm not that guy. I'm not real comfortable talking to people. Like right now, I'm all jittery. But if I could write something down, have it go to write to like an AI voice of some sort. And I found this great little program I like called Doodly, makes all these great little cartoon videos like we've all seen on the internet. It's probably a dumb question, but I was just wondering if we have, or will there be, or could there be, a program like that?
Absolutely. Mr. Mufar is already working on it.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
Go ahead.
Check it out. Now, within Academy, if you look at Academy with I call it a miracle product, what they're working on is you've got the teacher is speaking, and it's automatically going from speech to text. It's the AI doing this. And then to make it even better, that text can be translated into another language, and then that language can be uploaded into a speech engine, and he's creating digitally through AI an avatar that will then speak that back to you in a foreign language or the language of your choice, whatever your local language is. So yeah, it's there. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, because this is all kind of over my head. My tech ability maxed out at Pong. I mean, literally.
That's okay.
But I'm into it, and I want to do a YouTube video, not only that, I want to help OnPassive and do everything we're doing, but I also wanted to do it as my own private learning experience. I figured I could do a video on each product and teach myself as I'm doing it, kind of thing.
Right. That's great. That's really great. So, so I guess now we can move on to the next thing. And before I call on this person, it's actually.
John,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, 1 second. Is it possible for Marty to make some comments, please?
Absolutely. I was going to do him later, but if he wants to come on now, I'd be absolutely fine with me. Come on, Marty.
All right, all right, all right. I'm sorry, I missed the beginning. I heard some of it. As far as being excited, Tim Dillon, I love you, buddy, but you are wrong. Here's part of it. There's nothing wrong with being overexcited. The problem is expectations get involved. Here's my point. You got in the business, you got in because you don't market, you don't want to market, you don't want to share, you don't want to do nothing. That's beautiful. You pay your 97 and you cruise under the sunset. That person, if they think on the day of launch they're going to make $1 million, they're not thinking rationally. That's different. Excitement is that individual that said, I can't market, I won't market, I don't know how, but I want to make an extra income. Get excited, very excited, because it's coming. Okay? Don't get excited about the time, but if you're not excited, there's no such thing, and I'm passive right now, of being overexcited. I guarantee it. For what I know, and for the big man to tell me I know less than 10%, get freaking excited. Get super excited. I understand, don't over anticipate what you have coming or when it should be here. Just remember, you're on the train and we're all in first class. Some of us have to move up to first class because we decided not to share. That's okay. I'm a marketer. I should have a big team. Why? I market. Most of the people on passive didn't market, can't market, don't want to market, and they're going to have a huge team. I don't know when, but Frank, whatever you do, stay excited. Love you, Tim, but that's no way what I think people should back down. In fact, because you all know less than 10%, you're not excited enough. Trust me. I mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Be excited, get crazy excited. Now the part I think Tim is saying is get in and expectations get involved. I know there's a lot of people that say, I better make this my first month. You better pay taxes. You better die someday. You better make so much is not a guarantee for anybody here. But I do guarantee this, and Marty DeGarmo said it, hold it against me. When this thing launches and rides down that track, you're going to make more money than you ever made in your entire life if you just wait. It's coming. You don't know where you are in this big maze of people. What you could launch, did nothing, and wind up with 7,000 people on your team, in your structure, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to say matrix, I'll get in trouble. But we all have a sales team. Listen, the date of your hire means something. And remember this, not one living soul on this planet, which is everybody else but us, can enter this company without going through one of you, either directly or indirectly. So trust me, if we're a multi-trillion-dollar company, get freaking excited. Tattoo it on your forehead. Get excited. Just don't wrap yourself up in time. I guarantee you'll make more money with this than you did the last business you had. Why? Because if you were one of the 2%, you would tell me to shut up right now, okay? So we've all been there. I built teams of 20,000, 30,000 people, and I failed. Because if the system is rigged against you, you fail. This system was built for you. It's built for you. It was designed for all of us. That's the difference. And the $1 trillion is going to be fed out to all of us. I think it's a multi-trillion-dollar company. You can't take 30 and 40 billion-dollar companies and put them all together and think this isn't going to happen. It's happening. It's a done deal. But be excited. Love you, Tim. It's not the excitement that people need to get a hold of. Get excited. Take a hold of your expectations of when. But you're on the cruise of a life. You are going to have fun. It will be great. When? Nobody knows that. You don't know. You could have 1,000 visitors come to your site. and 100 of them sign up. Jeffrey Murdoch could have the same 1,000 visitors, different people, and get 500 to 800 signups. You don't know. It's a rotator. People are people. But if they're there and they're looking for something, they're coming to OnPassive. And don't worry about the people that wouldn't be a founder. I don't want to do it. I don't want nothing to do it. They're coming in. Send them a letter and say, don't open this until I tell you. Then when they get in, say, open that letter I sent you 6 months ago. The letter will say, I told you. They're getting in. Trust me, everybody's getting in. There's nowhere else to go. Recession is here. Ask build a recession-proof company. They have to have these tools. You think you have to argue with them? Hey, I'd like to give you these tools better than what you have, 50% in price? Oh no, let me think about that. Come on. The world's not going to shut down even in a recession, but they're going to look ways to get value. Our company is value. Anyway, I didn't mean to chat so much. I wasn't going to talk at all. Thank you, Tim. You woke me up. Anyway, that's all I got.
Wait a minute. Yes, you were going to talk because I was going to get you later anyway. Come on. And
yeah.
I was told by Milo, wait a minute. I was told by Milo, let Marty say as much as he wants. So
I got to remember to pay him off then. Anyway, yeah, I'm good right now. Tim, I love you, man. But there's two things we got to get. Don't confuse the two. Expectations, okay, that's one thing.
Yeah, right.
None of you are excited enough, and I've seen you all on all the webinars. Trust me, you can't get overexcited in this business. It's impossible. Anyway, that's all I got.
So Marty, you're saying that the lady in one of my groups, and a nice lady, I found out a little later, who posted a banner. I don't know what to say. You know how people make their banners and different things, like a poster only. Okay. And she was standing in front of a Rolls Royce and was saying something like, I'm going to be the first billionaire in my family. And I just, I agree with what you're saying. And I think that the expectation thing is the only thing. That's where I go with Tim, is where you have to be careful.
Oh, I agree. That's right. Okay.
That's
Listen,
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Billion's a different letter than M. Okay.
Well,
but either way, we'll have more millionaires in OnPassive than any company that ever was on the planet Earth. And I believe second to that, we'll have the most billionaires. Yeah. Sorry, but that's what I believe. She wants a Rolls Royce. She wants a Rolls Royce and lives long enough. By golly, she might get it with OnPassive. I don't know when.
She might. Yeah.
She might.
And later on, when I talked to her and saw, well, this is not somebody that's just out there like, one of the, how some folks are with their promos and all, whatever. But she said, very nice lady. And I said, well, how many accounts do you have? Do you have a lot of accounts? Do you have a lot of team members, or what's going on? She said, oh, I have one account. She was saying she was going to be the first billionaire in her family. And maybe, like you said, maybe.
That's right. Listen, we don't know. Okay. We don't know when. We know when the best thing that could happen. If you do the math, everybody says, oh, Ask never talks about money. I'm going to say this one more time. The ingredients that Ask does talk about, it equals money. He doesn't have to say it. I'm going to give everybody value. I'm going to give everybody the best technology in the world. I'm going to hire the biggest brains in the world. I will never be caught with my pants down. He never said that, by the way. I said that. But I'm going to be 2 or 3 years ahead in technology. Guys, what does that equal? Applesauce. Okay? Plenty of it. The money will not be an issue. I'm not thinking about the money. I'm not thinking about any of that. He's going to do it right, and it's only going to get better and better and better and better. But stay excited. Stay excited. In fact, you're not excited enough. But just be realistic of when it's going to happen. I know we're going to hear from people when it first launched, I didn't make $700,000 yet. It's an hour, Okay, sorry. But
yeah,
it's going to happen. It's going to happen for a lot of people. And remember, we couldn't do this before. That's why we're here. And he wants to give away. He hired people to tell him to stop giving away. Okay? He hired people to say, no, you can't go that far. No joke, guys. No joke. He's got people that are restraining him from giving away the farm. I'm not making a joke out of that, but he really wants to give is what I'm saying. And he's going to give as much as he can. But expectations, yeah, I agree with that. But if you're not excited, then you're in the wrong company.
Right.
Anyway,
right.
That's all.
Thank you, Marty. Okay,
Hey,
we
John?
should move along. But yes.
Hey, I just want to point out one thing on the heels of Marty. That excitement turns into gratitude, and that energy coming out of us is pulling these things we're thinking and focusing on to us. So keep it going, brother.
Okay, yes. All right, so we'll move along now because we got about 45 minutes or so before 4 o'clock. We want to try to be good and not go too long. But anyway, now I'm going to move on to, now this is a lady that, now I watch you folks because I'm in all the chats everywhere all the time. And I can't really, I try my best, but at some point, am I going to be able to keep up that pace? It's very difficult. I took it upon myself. I started to notice people's names in all the various streaming channels all over the place. I'd see names of people, they might be in the Zoom, but there they are in the chats on the stream, and they're chatting with folks. They're in that, they're paying attention to it. I started to realize I could use these folks so that I don't have to be in every one of our streaming chats at every single webinar that we stream live to the world or whatever. And if I could get some of these folks to put this in their mind. So I'm going to say the next lady coming up is a lady that I actually talked to and said, hey, I noticed that you're always helping out. You're in the chats. Could you kind of do that? I'm looking not to make an official team of people, but to have people that are also chat defenders like myself by just doing it. Susan Hodges, she's up next. And she is somebody that said, hey, I could help out. If I'm watching on one of the YouTube channels, I could help out. And I want to call all of you folks out. If you could look at some of our, like today's webinar, it's on a streaming chat. You could be on one or two of the streaming chats and just keep your eye on the chat. But like I said, we have people that are in there doing it. So what I'm saying is, take a little bit of pressure off me, help me out, join my club of chat defenders. That's what we are. And that's what I want to see people doing. Susan, come on and talk to us. So I don't know if that was what you're going to talk about, but come on and say something to us.
No, hi, John. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. I don't get to spend enough time on it because I work a lot and I'm usually have my earbuds in my, and not being able to watch. But
no pressure,
I
whenever
thank you so much. I try to help whatever I can and whatever I could do. But I wanted to thank you, and I wanted all, and you're doing a great job. I'm glad to see you stepping up to the bat and being a host now. It's wonderful. You've come a long way. And just getting on here is a lot for me. I'm not a video type person. So, but I thank Jeffrey so much because I called him one day. I was very upset because I was being told that actually, you know, they felt like I was losing my mind by doing what I'm doing with Passive. And I'm thinking, and I got really upset and I'm thinking, you know, there's so much money being spent. How could he be doing all of this? And Jeffrey got on the phone with me and he just calmed me down, and then he was just explaining to me of all of what was going on, and made me understand how big this is, because it was blowing my mind how big it was. I was like, how could he be doing all of this? This is just so huge. It would take so much money and so much in such a short time, because I started in computers years ago when there were the little punch cards, I told them, and I'm like, you know, the computers have come so far, and it's so intelligent, and we're going so far. It's mind-blowing to me, and I thank you all for all the leaders, for all they've done. They've been there all along. I'm always listening. I've been in since November of 2018. And I've been listening all along, and usually I'm at work on my earbuds. Today is my only day off, and I usually have 10 million things to do. And I wanted to be here today for this because I don't get to be on a lot of times. And I wanted to thank you all. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, John. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, all of you that aren't here. Julie and Chris, and I listened to them, and Red. I listen to them every day, you know, whenever I get a chance, and it keeps me going and it keeps me focused. And I don't listen to the outside. And I think what he might have been trying to say is not really excitement. We're excited, but I think we have to realize we have to keep the patience. The patience is the hard part, I think, for some people, is they get so excited they lose patience and want everything right now. And that goes along with the excitement. And I've been at that point too. It's like, when is it going to launch? But you know, it's the patience, because this thing is so big, and we have to, like you said, we just have to keep that excitement and keep going, and it'll come. It's not gonna, you know, it might not be like overnight, but it's gonna build, and we're in a great place, and we all are very blessed. And I thank the Lord for bringing me here. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great, Susan. Thank you for coming on. Okay, so let's move ahead. Tina, I don't know how to say your last name. Is it Tina Go or Ga? How do you say your last name, Tina? Come on, say something to us. I'm sorry, I'm not sure your last name.
Hello, world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. John, it's go. Let's go ahead. You're doing such a great job, yes. John. I love you all. I love everyone here, especially all of my friends, and also my dearest BSS Della. She's here too. I just want to expand on what Benny was asking Jeffrey Murdoch about the innovation labs. And then Jeffrey, here's one for you. Do you think we will see O Junior joining innovation labs in creating whatever it is for the future, 30 years down the line, to go where the O Juniors would be the incubators for the innovation lab for the future of passive. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. You can. Oh, thank you so much for that. I'm telling you, kids, that's where it's at. You know, they're not poisoned yet. They're not trained out of being believers in magic. You know, they're not trained out of the innate faith that we're born with. They have imaginations and they understand things. And not only that, if I can get just a smidgen esoterical here, we have got children on the rise. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of indigo children or not, but we have children on the rise that are incredibly intelligent and know things that we don't know. And I'm not sure, trying to say where they know it from, but they know these things. And Mr. Mufar has already indicated, yeah, we want these vivid imaginations and we want these ideas, because these kids come up with some of the darndest stuff, and it's gorgeous stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if he had a room, something like Romper Room, with 4 and 5 year olds that do all sorts of stuff, and 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds and kids right across. So yes, you can very well believe that Mr. Mufara is going to have younger kids, ethically speaking, involved with creative ideas and pushing the envelope on the things that our engineers are going to be looking at and developing. So yeah, I fully believe that with all my heart.
All right, great. So shall we keep moving, because we want to get as many people as we can. I'm getting hands now all of a sudden, and I'm losing track, but I want to get back to somebody I know had their hand up for a while now. Juwanda Woodward, are you still there? Are you ready to come and talk to us? Juwanda, come on down, as Milo would say, come on down.
Hi, John. How are you today? Hi. And the rest of you on the panel? Everybody's doing great. I haven't been around for a while. I go by Jay Wu, And because my name is just too much to say. But I wanted to come on, it's been a while, and really express some appreciation for what's been going on recently. Since OTech Pros got started, and a lot of the additional insight into the products and the company and the direction, it has really helped me personally. And I have an IT background as well. And to really build my confidence in the company and the direction that the company is taking. And when I think about conversations that the Tech Pros have covered, information about the innovative labs, expressions like the early adapters, the ones of you like Jeffrey Morlock and the ones from 2018 and 2019 who were early. Then we have the first adapters, which includes our group as a whole, that those that are inside as of the 22nd of June. And then I look at those who have dedicated so much time. I came in last year. Jeffrey, I read your first ebook that was going out of date at the time, but it was the foundation. It helped build the foundation for me to know about the company and where it came from before we had webinars that talked about our background and where we're going forward. Dr. Derek, Comfort, of course, Red, Marty, Lynn, Chris, Marina. We don't see her as much on this side because she's in South Africa, but the effort that everyone has put into the excitement, being overexcited as was brought up, it was created. That excitement was created. And yes, we all have expectations, but our expectations are real because our CEO gave us those expectations. He's not specific because he doesn't want us to have expectations beyond what he says he can deliver. And it made me, when I was listening to the discussion, it made me think about one of my favorite Bible passages. It's true, we can get in trouble. Expectations postponed makes the heart sick. But the B part of that verse says, but a desire realized is a tree of life. And that's where all we founders are headed. We're headed to a tree of life, and we're going to spread out roots and branches so that this tree of life can grow in other areas, in deserts, other communities. And it's a wonderful thing that I've seen the last 90 days in this company with our leaders and individuals. So even though all of us don't have a voice on every webinar, we have ears and we have heart. And I just wanted to take a moment and express the appreciation that I have for the effort that my on-passive brothers and sisters have put into making our hope real. It's not real because we're dreaming about it and we want it to happen. People are putting time and effort into the research, into discussing the points, making sure that the information is examined from the left, from the right, from the sideways. Then we come back in the middle of the week and we clean out the garbage and we restate it to make sure it's correct. It's so valuable. So the last 2 weeks talking about value, if an on-passive founder doesn't know what value is today, not just for on-passive, but in life in general, you should be able to see value and recognize it in your everyday life now because of how thoroughly we covered what is value and how can we recognize it. So I'm just so pleased to be a founder. I'm looking forward. I'm still looking for my niche, but I'll find it. And if not, I got a funny name, J-Woo. Somebody will find me. Thanks,
All
guys.
right. Sure. JD, everybody keeps saying I found my niche, and I'm like, I've been doing stuff behind the scenes for a while, and all of a sudden I'm like, the chat, my niche is the chat, and I'm like, yeah, thanks, but I do a whole lot of stuff besides that for a while now. But anyway, let's keep moving, and let's get it to about 2 minutes or whatever, because I can see the time is going by, and I just want to get a little more try to keep it going a little more strictly because I'm not good at that. So who's the guy? I got somebody here and I got to get my screen up. Oh boy, hold on a second. Okay, I want to bring on Eric Kessler. Are you there, Eric?
All right, I just have a little song. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Listen, there used to be a song called Dream On. Dream on, till your dream comes true. Well, I kept doing that, dreaming and dreaming and dreaming and dreaming that I'm going to be able to provide better for my family. I'm going to be able to take nice vacations. I'm going to be able to contribute to charities and things that are important to me. Well, that's happening now. So to ask me not to be excited, you might as well save your breath because I'm excited. Am I over expecting? No. Hey, if I make a buck from On Passes, that's more than I've ever made in my life on any kind of business I ever got into. And I'm never going to lose any money because it's one time out of your pocket. If you're not excited about that, man, you're crazy. I'm excited. I appreciate what Tim said. I understand what he said, but I can diminish my excitement if I wanted to. Tranquilizers can diminish my excitement. I love On Passive. My excitement is what keeps me coming to these webinars. My excitement is what keeps me going in the back office and checking out what's going to happen today, what's new, what Ash has for us. That's what excitement does for me. So maybe we're mixing semantics here or whatever. I don't know. But I'm excited. I can't hide it. And that's where I'm at. So I said my
All
piece.
right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Eric.
John, I want to just let you know that Milo is in the house. He's co-host.
Okay. Yes, Milo had said that he might get a chance to pop in if he can. Why don't we let Milo come on and say something to us? I don't want to waste time. Let's see Milo. Come on, Milo. Come on down.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? Had a great time today at the family reunion. Getting done, and Curtis is driving me. So we're having fun. It's good to hear you guys talking about the excitement, and everyone's right. Eric, you're right, man. If you can't be excited about this, there's nothing to get excited about. I'm telling you, this is something that has great excitement written all over, and just can't wait. And I'd like to thank the ones that helped out today. You know, Marty and John Barilla for hosting it, and Lynn for helping, you know, and getting it done. And I know I'm going to wait to get home and I'll pull up the recording and watch it. But I love every one of you, and thanks to all of you for coming today. And let's continue on to On Passive. And Kurt says say hi. I'll let him say hi.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good. We're just having fun family time. Back to you, John.
Okay. Thank you, Milo, and thank you, Curtis.
Man. Jeffrey.
Go ahead.
Jeffrey also. Jeffrey, thank you, Jeffrey, for coming on and talking today or whatever. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but I know it's good, and I'll go back and listen to it.
Okay. Thank you.
Back to you, John.
All right. So let's go on. Hey, there he is. How you doing? Hey. So let's go on. You know, I was sitting here on my phone and I just got like a notification that the Queen of Spade is on. That's kind of an inside thing. I don't know. Some of you might know what that is. It's telling me to go to the Queen of Spade. Her live is on right now, and I'm not going anywhere. Certainly not to the Queen of Spade. Some of you know who I'm referring to. Anyway, inside joke, I guess. Anyhow, let's move on to Marcienne Hemabo. And I may have murdered your last name too, Marcienne. I usually just think of your first name.
Yes, you did it well, and thank you so much. You called my name so beautifully. I thought it was my father calling me. Hello, everyone. How excited I am to be here today. I am so happy to see everybody. And we're talking about value. I mean, come on. What kind of value On Passive have not given us? The value that On Passive have given up is so immense. It's tremendous. It's so big. It's so big. The value that we are having in this company, I mean, it's not just about the products, but even about the human being. We are value each other now more than ever before. We value our family now more than ever before. Now we understand the value to be around each other, the value to be together in the family. I think that OnPassive have given us that opportunity. A lot of us, we did not know how beautiful it is to be around family, to stick together. But because of the freedom of time that we are going to have, we are putting that value, that fact that we are together now, it makes a difference. I don't know about you all, but I see me and I know that it's making a difference on my life already. That value, the value of being together, the value of acknowledging each other without even seeing them before, the value of everything that we are learning in life. And after that, the value of our products, superior, sophisticated, and secure. You will not find it anywhere. So I just want to say that I'm so happy to be in here today. And like I said, I'm just living OnPassive and I'm very proud. I'm a proud founder. My name is Marciene Mabu. I'm your friend. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you. And I'm noticing some hands went down, I think, for a while there. And what I'm seeing is a couple of folks that might be a repeater, which is fine with me. English Mike, did you want to speak again, or is that a mistake? I see your hand is up.
Yeah, it was not a mistake that I put my hands up. Thank you, everybody, for everybody that is talking. I wanted, I mean, we are here like a family. I have two things that I want sparks on. So Jeffrey and Maddie, one goes to Maddie and one goes to Jeffrey, so that they can bring it out for us to spark us up again this Saturday. The one that goes to Maddie is for him to let us know when blockchain technology is coming to our ecosystem. What does that mean? That's for Maddie. Then the one for Jeffrey, if he can tell us a little more when our CEO voice it and tell you that we are the gateway. OnPassive founders are the gateway to OnPassive. What does that mean? Those are the two things. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You got more? You got more for us or what? I guess we're good. Okay. Okay, next we're going to have SM Akram Hossein. Are you there? SM Akram Hossein.
Hello, thank you very much. My name is SM Akram Hossein. I'm your friend, and it's really awesome. Today's webinars, it's new look. This Milo shows, and also is new look, and also awesome to Mr. John. You are really rock today, and every times when I presented international webinars, you always keep silent, but today's you are rock. So thank you so much. And also here is I have actually no question. That my question answer I already got from my big brother Marty. He's from his discussion I already got. And also I also thanks to Jeffrey Mullock, and he's also doing fantastic, and Dr. Benny, and also engineer Mike. And so they have a lot of information already I received that. But one thing I would like to share that about the Belu at this moment. Actually, we have the after long journey at this moment, what we did achieve. Belu is the main important things for me about the OnPassive. If I tell that I am so much proud. Why I'm proud? Because OnPassive have given a lot of Belu, because we cannot compare to any things with the other things. We cannot compare. So Belu is the very important thing. At the same time, why I am so much excited, because when I have seen that there have the innovation and in already innovated products in our front, in my eyes, in the front of my eyes, I have seen the innovative products. This is our products. This is my company products, and already we are getting it, and it is just waiting for the launch. So that's why I am so much excited. I will not be more excited, because I want in my lifestyle slow and steady. This is the best policy. But slow and steady, there have the patience. We have to take the patience, and in the right moment, right time, we'll get the product. So there have no any confusion, anything. It will be very slow and steady. It will be for the long run, for our whole life. Our generation to generation will be the income will come and come. So there have no any alternative in the by AI technology. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's
Hi,
keep going. And
Oh,
go ahead.
before
What?
you go on, Engineer Mike had two questions that weren't answered. Will we be able
Ah,
to have him, let's unmute him so he can repeat his
yes,
question?
let's bring him back. I thought I tried to ask him. I didn't know if he was
Oh, yeah,
finished. Yes, come on.
yeah. Come on down,
Oh,
Mike.
thank you very much, Lynn. Yeah, it was a question, it was not a statement I was making, John. I said, we need it. We are getting to the end of this today. I need that spark. And one of the spark, I want Marty DeGamo to tell us what the blockchain technology coming to our ecosystem will do for us. Then the second one is for Jeffrey Murdoch to tell us what does it mean that founders, we are the gateway to unpassive. Thank you.
Okay, so should we have those folks, both Jeffrey and Marty, answer those?
Yep, jump on it, Marty.
Who's next?
He might not be available,
Oh,
but
okay.
Jeffrey
All
can
right.
answer one of the questions.
Go ahead,
Sure.
Jeffrey. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Thank you, Engineer Mike. I appreciate you bringing that up. You know, because Mr. Mufara has talked about that recently. He hasn't used that particular phrase. I think a year or two ago, I came out with a video saying on passive, right? Go founders, or the founders of the gateway to on passive. What we're talking about there is simply that from now on, everybody that comes into on passive has got to go through, in a sense, the founders. Everybody that joins from here on out is going to be in the sales network of the existing founders. They can't come in without that, which means that every single person that joins and becomes a member or customer or a reseller or anything in on passive from this point out is going to be giving us a piece of commission from any sales that they have. That's what it means. You know, biblically speaking, it said, you know, when Jesus was talking about a shepherd, the good shepherd, he said, I am the gate. He was literally talking about people that were had sheep and they were penned in, but there was no real gate. Instead, at night, the shepherd would lay down and you would literally have to go over or through the shepherd to get to the sheep. That's what we are. They have to go through and over us to get into on passive. And everybody that comes in, whatever sales they have, we're going to get a piece of that. So that's what that means.
Thank you. Thanks, Jeffrey. I guess Marty's not around at the moment. So I'm going to call on.
I can
Let's
answer
bring
the
down
blockchain
Bruce. Wait,
technology.
what's up?
Hi, John, it's Tony here. I can answer the blockchain technology for Mike.
Okay. Well, Tony, I was going to have you come on anyway. So why don't you come on now?
Yeah, I'll come on again. I just want to answer this question for Mike here. Blockchain technology is something that's used by cryptocurrency, as we all know. It's a much faster way of storing information. What it is information on blocks on a chain that goes on forever. So this information that's in these blocks will stay there forever, and it will be stored probably into our data centers eventually. So I hope that answers your question, Mike. Thanks.
All right. Okay, thank you. So now let's try Bruce Gerstein. Give us a couple of minutes, Bruce. Come on down. A couple of minutes, please. Are you there, Bruce?
Very good. Yeah, you got me unmuted.
There he is.
Is it good now, John? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great. I'm glad you can hear me. I can hardly hear myself. My head is bubbling so much. Thank you so much for your service, and Lynn, of course, and everyone else here. Jeffrey, let me ask you this one question. Let me ask you if you feel like I do. Do you feel like a kid in a candy store?
Bruce, you hit the nail on the proverbial head, my friend. It does feel that way, you know. I mean, it really, really does, and it goes back to Susan Hodges was on a little bit ago, and she was actually talking about something that got me thinking, and that's about there is so much going on that it really, really can be overwhelming. We're just not used to it. We're not used to such massivity and for having so many choices and having to look at so many things going on at all at once that it really numbs us up. And that's where we get, you know, it's like, how can we even believe all this is coming at us too fast? But yes, I do feel like a kid in a candy store, Bruce. Thank you.
And you know, the greatest thing is that the candy store owner doesn't say to you, you can only have one. He says, take whatever you want, use it all. And I'm going to give you all of it and enjoy it all. Don't worry about anything. I'll take care of it. Isn't that amazing? Just amazing. All that we have here is done for us. And, you know, the exuberance I have, I don't show that much, but, you know, I went to my speech therapist, so I have to exercise more of my voice and learn how to talk again louder and clearer. And I'm doing that. And the thing about unpassive is that when we speak loud and we speak clear and we speak with confidence without any kind of excuse of the way we say something, we're fine. And people, they respond to when people are positive a lot more than if you're unsure. It's very important to always be sure that what we have is the greatest thing since single toilet seats, you know? It's just incredible. I had a guy who got on LinkedIn with me the other day, and he was talking about a friend of his who got in and was unhappy and $97. I said, you know, $97, who cares about $97? You know, because it doesn't matter. And he said, that's true, but I don't trust it because too many things are out there. But I listen to him and I give him information anyway, because just because somebody wants to be negative doesn't mean they can't be turned around. Doesn't mean I spend time with them. It just means I tell them what's here and what's real and what's happening. Because if you do that with confidence and assurance, sometimes people respond in a way that they have. Maybe I should think about it again. Because this is, I know one of the things that I find is that we're in this period where I, like many people, wonder what do we do now, because we're not bringing people in. And I have this feeling that, and you tell me if this makes sense, that you should let people know what is coming, let them know the way they can get it. They can let us know that they're interested now, so that the company will notify them later. But I'm not sure of how to market something that is a way to bring people with emails into it, you know, before it happens. Does that make sense, my question?
All right. So thank you. Are we good now? Are you good with that, Bruce?
Question I have for Jeffrey. What is a way of giving people information to pique their interest without right now before we're launched?
That's very good, Bruce, and I appreciate that. You're right. I mean, right now we're kind of in a lull. We're waiting for things to happen. We've got some expectations of things happening. And as you know, the founder spot is closed permanently. Well, actually it's not, but the door to it is. What I'm recommending is use your links in the back office, particularly, you know, before the new one comes out. We've got, I think it's link number 58. It still has valuable information there. If you use that link and send that to people, let people know, hey, you're going to be able to join. You can also, in using that, if you use your link, when we are able to take on new members, that link will have a link for people to join through. So if they get used to using your link, they'll automatically use it when they want to join, and that'll be good for your sales or for your sales network. Additionally, you can use, and as Mr. DeGarmo would say, leverage the power of the internet and the power of what we're doing by using. I know there's several good YouTube stations out there that if you point people to those stations, they can learn more about OnPassive, and make sure that when you do that, say, hey, here's a link to go to onpassive.com. Make sure it's your link. Also point them to these YouTube channels and other social media places. Right now, we just want the word to go out because we can't really join. I mean, right now, the founders are it. We're not open for new members to join, but if you get your link out there, it will have a link to join with once we're able to do that.
Okay, I know there's a contact link inside the link. There's a place where you can contact the corporation OnPassive, and you can put information in there now too, if they're really searching it. But
well, you could do that. You can put the information in OnPassive, but if they're going through your link to get to onpassive.com, that link is going to be associated with you, Bruce. So you'll end up, I mean, if they join using that link down the road, it's going to come under your sales network.
The videos are all great. There's some incredible videos out there right now. So I encourage everybody to use Bill Must and Tim Johnson and all the ones that are out there. Plus some of these videos like that we can use are also good. Some of the seminars that are open to public. So thanks, Jeffrey, and everybody.
Absolutely. There's definitely links out there that we can be using right now. It's go to YouTube, folks. Look at some of the channels of all the folks that you know, the names you know. There's some great YouTube videos that are out there. I watch them every day, a lot. Okay, so I want to get to one more person that's not a repeater, and that would be Phil and Susan Torres. Phil and Susan, or Phil or Susan, which one's here? Is Susan with us or Phil?
Hello.
Yeah, they're unmuted.
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I just wanted to say hello to all the fellow founders. And I wanted to thank all the founders for all the information I've been getting behind the scenes for the last 3 years. And I just wanted to thank you guys for this webinar and all those founders that have been holding webinars and giving us all the information. I want to thank you. And I just wanted to say thank you to Ash and his family for the great blessing that he has given us founders and allowing us to work OnPassive.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming on. That's great. That's great that you feel that way. Thank you very much. Okay, so now I have the only people I have left are people who have spoken once before. I don't know whether they meant to raise their hand or not, but I do have Tim Dillon. Did you want to come back and say something, Tim?
John, just a reminder that we need to wrap up. Milo's reminding us.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I was thinking about that too. It's 3:55. Shall we just go to thanking folks and?
Yeah.
Or
So
do we need
Milo would
people-
like to end on time. That's his style.
Right. We got 5 minutes to do that. So perhaps we could start to wrap that up then. Do we want to bring anybody on for last comments, or would you like to say something now at the end here?
Yeah, well, just so thanks for the support that we have from our attendees. Thank you to Milo for giving us guidance and providing this show with an agenda and a program. Very well organized by Milo. Thank you very much. Thank you to the helpers that actually helped promote this webinar. And I'm just going to name them very quickly. We have Sampath Patel, who's here with us today, Bhupender Singh, Gladys Naboro, John Barilla, that's you. You helped a lot with promoting. Myra Aquino, Listra Tuak, and Gifty Safoa, and we don't want to take them for granted. Promotion is the name of the game. It's how a webinar is become successful. And so we want to thank them for giving their time and energy to promoting this webinar. And I want to remind you that there are some webinars coming up. We have, normally we have the PNG, Papua New Guinea webinar at midnight on Sunday. This week is being canceled because they're counting votes right now. So we will not have a webinar Sunday. But we have a webinar at 1:30 p.m. It is a Heroes webinar in which, wait, hold on one second. I'm being advised to do one thing. Well, let me finish what I was going to say. What was I saying? Thank you. Oh, the Heroes webinar is at 1:30 p.m. on Sunday. And this is a webinar that's public, but it gives you a lot of information about OnPassive. We have updates. We have the OTech pros speaking, and then we have Andy Burks, who provides a sales perspective. So that's the webinars that are coming up in the next couple of days. And of course, we have the corporate webinar, which is Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And at this time, I've been advised to have Tim Dillon come and speak. Tim, we're really going to wrap up, so maybe you could say a few words real fast, please. Go ahead, Tim.
I'm trying to unmute. I'm trying to unmute.
You're unmuted. We hear you.
I am here now. Number one, I want to make a broadcast apology to all the panelists, to all the attendees for my first. Come on. Now, the thing is, when I came on, I was not trying to say that the excitement was not good. It's just, I think we have to rein it in a way so that we still have that same level, but nobody else needs to know that. This company is being built from the inside out. Let's continue that. Let's not get too excited about what's to come. It will come. Professor, you know it. You damn well know it. I believe you do. Marty knows it. There are many other people that know it. But as founders, I think it's important that we calm down and let it happen.
All right. I think we would agree with you. We do need to wrap up, Tim, but thank you for that feedback. Thank you. All right. Now we take it back to our host, John Barilla, and then we will close. Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. I don't have much to say at the end here. I just want to make sure I thank everybody. First of all, I'm going to thank again everyone that's come today, all of our attendees, everybody on the panel. Without you, this would not be here. This program of Milo's wouldn't be here. So I know he wants to thank everybody for coming. Myself, thank everybody that helped me today. all the folks that spoke, everybody on the panel. I won't say everybody specifically. Of course, Lynn, I'll say her specifically, but all of you folks. And Jeffrey, thank you. Well, I am saying people now. Marty, everybody. I don't have much more to say. I've had a great time. I hope I wasn't too annoying. And Lynn, I noticed that my head was sideways. You mentioned it at me before on the computer, but I'm not doing anything to turn myself sideways every once in a while. I don't know what's happening, but I had a good time. That's all I got to say, folks. We can wrap it up now.
Thank you. You're sideways, but sideways, straightways, upside down, you're still a good guy. So that's why I said it doesn't matter. Your message was loud and clear, and that's what counts. And your heart was shining bright for everyone to see. Thank you so much. I think you did a great job as a host. Everybody who thinks he did a great job, it's his first time hosting. Give him a clap. I think he did marvelous. I love his voice. It's very commanding and authoritative and dynamic. I could use that. I want that voice. Awesome, John. I hope you would continue to do this. Yeah, oh, that's awesome. You have such aptitude for this. This is really beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. We hope that we will see you again next week, Saturday, for the On Passive Milo show. Are you coming back? Wave if you're coming back. We have a lot of regulars. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you so much on behalf of Milo. Is Milo wanting to unmute? Milo? His internet is kind of spotty, but I just wanted to give him a chance if he wanted to say his last few words. I don't think his internet is working, but thank you, everybody. You can go ahead and unmute, and we say bye to one another. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye all. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Every time,
Wonderful
every
afternoon.
day,
Great.
apples from on passive.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Great to know each clown can pick apples from on
Thanks,
passive.
Jeffrey.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
You'll
Have a great
find
weekend. Thanks, everyone. Awesome webinar. Fire, fire.
Thank you, Brother Jeffrey, for coming. We
Umbrella
appreciate you.
is
My pleasure, Dr.
upside
Benny. Thank you. Thank
down.
you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you, everybody.
Hey, sunshine and flowers.
Thank you,
Thank
John.
you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Lynn.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.
You